Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back. So it is the first video of 2019 now, so yay, let's get excited. So today we're gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna return this old yoke that I have for the front differential. I'm gonna go get the other one. AutoZone called me, they have it waiting. So I'm gonna exchange this. I'll save you the video. You guys saw me do it like 12 times. And go get that thing. I'm going to put on the axle snap rings. The little orange snap ring that goes inside there. We're gonna do that. And what I'd like to actually do is get the front drive shaft mounted because I got the straps and the dust boot. So I should be able to get the front section completely done with it all buttoned up and the drive shaft in there. So that should be good. Let's get that going. I'm gonna get that thing out and then we'll go to the store. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I ordered this transmission mount quite a few days ago, and the shipping hasn't been updated on it in almost 4 days now. It's like 3 hours or 3 days and 16 hours that the shipping hasn't been updated. It just says en route to next facility. So I don't know if that means it's lost in the mail somewhere or it's on a truck. I know the Christmas and New Year's holiday really messed up the shipping on it, but I have something that I got delivered today, but I ordered it 4 days after I ordered this trans mount. So kind of wondering what's going on with that thing, and that's really holding me up with building the cross member and everything. So I'm going to try to start working on all this other stuff, and hopefully that thing will come in the next couple days. Alright guys, so we're going to kind of have a little change of pace, change of plans. I did pick up my new yoke today. So this is the new small cap 1330 yoke. This is gonna go on there, but I'm waiting on the pinion seal. So I did actually contact a different company on eBay and asked them specifically for my application with the 98 Ranger front diff, what seal I need, and they sent me a part number and I found it locally. They're gonna have it here tomorrow. So instead of putting this thing in there and getting the drive shaft in today like I had planned on doing, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. So I only have to do it once. And this thing does fit very nicely. This is gonna be exactly what I need now. And I know the exact seal that I need. So the seal that I had before, it fit, but it wasn't really right. So the one that I got now is right, and it will be perfect. So thought I'd do something a little bit different, and maybe we'll do a tool review video. I'm gonna start doing, a couple of you guys suggested that I do like some tool reviews and stuff that I'm using, stuff that I like. So what I did was, I wasn't planning this, but this is what we're gonna do with it. So you can see that I have gloves on, and a couple of you guys probably know from the other videos, I said that I've been getting like a rust on my arms. I think it's, or a rash on my arms. I think it's from rust. So I want to start covering my hands and my arms when I'm working on, especially on this truck, because this thing is fucking loaded with rust. So picked up some of the Harbor Freight 9mm gloves. These things are like $11 a box, but look at them. They are very, very thick if you haven't used these things. So you would probably even be able to reuse these if you were able to get them off, if your hands are not all sweaty and nasty. But I don't think these things will rip. Hashtag dumbface thumbnail. Okay, so we got the 9mm and the 5mm. So I'll do a little comparison. I don't know what you really want to see here, but if we look at the texture, this one is the 5mm. It's a lot thinner, of course. I mean, based on the dimension, it's thinner. But these things are pretty good. These ones, I honestly like these. These are pretty decent. They're easy to take off. These ones are actually like really tight, but they're very strong gloves. I think these would be good for a lot of work that these obviously wouldn't be good for, especially working underneath the truck. And these will be able to take some abuse, where these kind of break easy if you catch any sharp edges. These are good for keeping junk off your hands. I like them, but these will be good for taking some abuse and probably actually, you know, turning a wrench and catching some sharp edges. And I don't know, I like them. They're a little pricey because they only come with 50 gloves in a box. So I think that means 25 pairs, but that's not really very many gloves, where the other set does come with 100 gloves. So yeah, I guess it really depends what you're doing. Now I got both of them there. So I'm gonna do a little bit of work with these gloves on. I've had them on for a while, just kind of tinkering around, and they're pretty pretty good. I like them. I like them. So, tool number 2. This is the also Harbor Freight. It's just the snap ring pliers. So, I'll show you the snap ring pliers that I have. It is just this style right here. So, this is the one with the, you know, you have the little thing that disconnects here. You can take this little center pin out of there, and this bit thing comes off the end. And it's kind of a pain in the nuts, actually. Like, if you actually try to use it and you're trying to do any precision work with it, it's hard to get it to actually stay together in this angle. I mean, this thing always wants to shift, and it's really just a pain. So I've been more frustrated with this thing more often than it's been helpful to me. So every time it is helpful once, it's frustrating about 7 times. So what I want to do is test this thing out. Seems a little bit more sturdy, and you have the compressing function, and then you also have a switch on it that is going to allow you to open as you squeeze it, which is really cool. So once it resets, squeezing will compress the pins, and then the opposite function, squeezing it opens the pins. And you also have the options on the backside in the packaging for the 90-degree pins that you can swap out. So that's really cool. I'm gonna try that thing, and we are actually going to do it on the hub snap rings, little plastic rings. So let's get into that and try it out. See how they work. Well, the first thing I noticed after opening up this packaging is that there's a little pouch in here that holds all of the extra stuff. So there's some other set screws in there, all of the other little extension pieces. This is really cool, I think, because the other set doesn't have that. It does have a lot of extra pieces, but it doesn't have a place to keep them. So this is how I've been storing this other set, and it's just the original packaging with the backing kind of stripped out of it. So it's original packaging, and I've just been keeping it kind of laying down in the shelf in my toolbox, you know, with this thing in there, and it doesn't really work very well. So you'll be able to kind of keep this whole other situation. You can keep this together. It's not flimsy and falling apart, and it does come with this little pouch because I have a different drawer with a lot of extra little bits and pieces, and I'll be able to keep this in there, and I really like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so first thing I did notice, this is going to be the little ring that I'm using. This is for the Ford Ranger front axle, holds it in there. So first thing I did notice is that this copper colored one was the wrong size pin. So there was a spare inside the kit that has the right size pin that's going to work for this little snap ring. So to change this out, all we have to do, grab the right size Allen wrench, loosen up the little set screw on the side here, and then this thing pulls right out. Drop it on the floor so you know it's good, and then put it in, tighten the set screw down. Good to go. Now that thing should work. So very easy to change these out. Very cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the pins on the snap ring pliers inside the hole. I'm gonna expand it, slip it over the axle. We'll see how well this thing works. Actually get this thing seated. All right, so the pliers work pretty good. It does have to go around the groove inside the axle a little bit more, but I'll continue to play with that. Okay, so I got my snap ring all in there now, and so you can see it just keeps the axle from falling back in there. So that thing works pretty nice. Now I can actually put this hub all the way back on. And we're good to go. I can put the wheel back on. We're done with this side. Okay, so that's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. The gloves, I really like the gloves so far. They're a little bit expensive. I think they were like $11 or $12 for the box. Not very many pairs, but in my situation, it'll prevent a lot of issues down the road. And I think you could probably get away with, like I said, reusing these things, taking them off, if you really wanted to get stingy and reuse them, which I will probably try to do. So the snap ring pliers, let's talk about this thing. So I got both of these at Harbor Freight. So this thing is $4.99 and this was $13.99. So in my situation, and I feel like this might be the situation in a lot of people's world, is you're buying a snap ring pliers, you're probably buying it with the intent that you're not going to use it a whole lot. So I bought this thing a few years ago because I needed it for some random thing. So of course I just buy the cheapest one you got because you know you're probably not going to use it that much. And then in my case, I started using it a lot for different things like transmission rebuild and there's a lot of different things I was using this for. And trying to get this thing to work in your favor, like I said, it works very well, like 1 out of 30 times, and it can be very frustrating. So I would say, and if anything, if you're looking for one, this thing is awesome. I very much like this function here. So then I'll just do this to show how it works. So see how it has the closing action now? And then I can flip it the other direction. It switches over to this other side. Now it has the opening action. So this thing is really cool. It does have interchangeable heads. It does have the 90-degree heads, which is also important, just in case. So this thing's really cool. It's definitely worth the extra $7 or $10. Yeah, $9. Definitely worth the extra $9 if you feel like you might be using it. That thing, honestly, looking back on it now, I almost regret buying it. But it's a good learning experience. Have this thing now, and nice little storage pouch. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the gloves. Harbor Freight for the win. And let me know if you guys like the tool review videos. If you do, I can continue to do more. I always buy tools, and I'm always like trying new stuff. So I can give you my honest opinion of it if you like it. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.